After I got out of the hospital, I came home, and in a short while after I got home, I was thinking about this song. I picked up my guitar and decided to write a song in a couple hours. This is what I had. You can listen to it and see what you think of it. If thou was to try me, then Lord, make it thy way. I want to be found as gold. Lay me low at thy feet, Lord, for I want thy will. Oh, show me thy love and thy strength today. For thou art the master and I want to follow. For thou knowest all the way. Lord, lead me in mercy and teach me thy way, that I may enter the pearly gates. I look up and see angels hovering o'er me. Lord, what is in store for me? I'll stay close by thy side, for you went to the cross, and thou knowest all the way. For thou art the master and I want to follow, for thou knowest all the way. Lord, lead me in mercy and teach me thy way, that I may enter the pearly gates, that I may cherish my health and family and all that thou hast for me, that my life may help someone else to Jesus. Oh, use me in all of the ways you desire. For thou art the master and I want to follow, for thou knowest all the way. Lord, lead me in mercy and teach me thy way, that I may enter the pearly gates. Well, we went over a couple of weeks ago and finished up the tree that we had the trouble with. Now it's down, and while we was over there working away, well, up drives the town police at Navarre, and he got out of his car and came over. Norman and I were standing down on the ground there. We'd had the tree pretty well down, and so the city police says, he announces to us, I'm on the tree committee here in Navarre. We thought, lawsy me, we're in for trouble now. And so I says, we both just stood there, but then he hum-haws around a little bit and finally says, we have some trees here, about 9 or 10 in the city, that we're wanting removed. and we was wondering if you'd be interested in helping us take them down. So, of course, we felt a little bit easier about it after he announced his arrival and made known what he really wanted. And so he said he'd call us when he was ready for us to go around with him and show us all the trees that we'd be able to give him a price on them, what we'd take them down for. And so we haven't heard from him yet and hope we never do, but he may be calling us one of these days for about 9 trees there in town. They're going to have their equipment so that we can help take it down, and they'll use their high lifts and trucks and all to haul it away, but we're supposed to do the cutting. So anyway, I was through Navarre here the other day, and I see some of them cutting a tree there, some of the city men, so maybe they're going to take it on by themselves, because we never heard from them anymore, and they may take them out themselves. So then Norm's had 2 or 3 other trees that he is thinking about doing himself, and one of them is a chiropractor's, one that Norm's taken treatments from, and every time he goes over there, they talk about this big old willow tree that's in their yard, and it's up over an old log cabin. And so Norman gave him a price of $275, and here a little while later he's back over there, and he trying to get him down, and so he got him down to $200. And so Norm's all enthused about taking her out. I went over with him and looked at it, and I says, man, that's a lot of tree for $200, and having to worry with it. Of course, we was just going to drop it. I says, I don't know whether we can take her out of there for that. And so he got his, changed his mind and decided he better stay back to about 250, and then later he says he'd just go tell him 275 like he started off, and he'd haul it out of there for that. But he's all enthused about this big truck then too, that he went to look at. One of the men at the church, as he's in the logging business, and so he told us that he had this 2-ton truck that he'd like to sell if we wanted to buy it for our operation. And I didn't. Well, when I got hurt, Norman put on his hard hats, Norm's tree service, and I was kind of left out there, so I figured maybe I better not get in too deep with it if he's going to call it his business. And so I didn't really want to go in half on the truck, and so we went over and looked at it anyway, and got a price of $350. It's a pretty fair truck, and looks like it'd be well worth that. But Norm kind of talked like he'd like to go half on it. I have my building project, and I don't see how I'm going to be doing any tree work for the next year or so till I get my house kind of enclosed. And so I ended up kind of balking on him, and so I told him that I could maybe buy the truck, and then he could come up with the money later, and then he could just pay me. And so he didn't hardly want to do that, so he went to the loan company, and he refinanced all of his bills. Of course, I didn't have any amount of bills myself to worry about, but he had bills, and he consolidated them and refinanced, and now he's paying 18% interest on his money, and got this truck, and I think he's going to have to keep her busy if he's going to come out much on it, because license on it runs about $150 a year, I think it is. So until he gets a few jobs that'll do him some good to come out on his price of his truck, well, he's going to end up a little bit short. And then, too, you have to keep your chainsaws up, and that costs money always. Just to sharpen it's $2.50, I think it is. Then I had to buy a new chain this last time. That cost me $23 or so, and so you always have something that takes away from the price of the tree and ends up with not too much profit in it when you figure wages. And then he's not come over much since he talked about the truck. We're supposed to go over and get it, I think, tomorrow sometime, but I'll just have to see how he works it out. I got plenty to do around here myself, and I was working. First of all, I got a day off for my personal holiday that I'm entitled to. I worked there almost a year at McLean's, and so I was entitled to a day for a personal holiday, and I took it. And then I have a birthday, a day off for it that I hadn't taken, so I'll be taking it next Thursday. That gives me Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of each week to do some things around here. I need to be doing them anyway, and so Norm, he hadn't come around much lately, so maybe I can get some of it done. Then, anyway, we're supposed to pick up the truck tomorrow if we can work it in, but my neighbor, Steve Kime, who sold me the place, he has a backhoe, and he's going to be digging my footers this Saturday, which is the day after tomorrow. And then Roy, his brother, is a bachelor, and he has two bulldozers, so he brought his bulldozer up and pushed the dirt out for my house basement. And then he's doing a lot of other work around the place here. He may end up digging out some trees and some of that stuff. And I don't know what he's going to charge me, but it looks like that he's going to be reasonable. He won't tell me how much it's going to be, but he says he'll do it by the job, which if they keep adding to the jobs, well, more things that I need done around here, well, it may end up more than I thought it would be, but I hope I get by pretty reasonable. It's not his full-time job. He works on a dozer for a strip mine, so when he comes home, he has his own dozers. He can work some on weekends and things to make a little extra, and he doesn't count it as his livelihood, so he doesn't charge like a regular dozer operator. So that makes it good for me, and he's there handy, can just walk the tractor over across the highway, and he's at my place. He's not about an eighth of a mile from his drive to my drive. But we've got the place looking a little different now since the dozing's been done. I had him push out some more dirt for me for a driveway around the sides of the trailers to go back up on the hill instead of going up over the hill like it did. Every time I'd come in and I have something on the truck and want to take it up where I could dump it off in my area where I've been putting my machinery and stuff, well, I'd end up being on that slick hill and I couldn't get any farther up, so I'd have to unload along the side, and that would make it so I had junk up along the driveways on that steep driveway to I'd be trying to go up to dump it off, and I couldn't get any higher, so I just let it off where I was at, and it's kind of made a lot of extra stuff down pretty low on the hill, but I'll get it moved up as I can. Then that is after I get so I can go back around the hill to on the new driveway that I had cut in today. Then tomorrow he's supposed to come up in the afternoon and do some digging up trees up on the hill, a lot of the brushy trees and things. I'm going to do about half of it this time, and that'll mean all of the apple trees will come out. That's where the poorest of the apple trees were that are left, and then there's a lot of wild plum trees which don't produce anything. Cherry, I mean, wild cherry, and some lot of sassafras and some sumac and some of that stuff, just brushy stuff in there. And he says he can get in there with the dozer and do a lot of cleaning up the bigger trees, and I'll snake some of them on down. We have quite a pile of firewood at the bottom of the hill, Norman and I, where we've done a lot of work already on trees that we've hauled in. Of course, we sell the firewood, but we may not sell too much more this year until next fall when the people start wanting it for winter again. But that'll give it a chance to cure out, and we should be able to sell more of it than we have this year. We never did run any ads in the paper, and so I think if we'd carry some ads in the paper, we could probably get more loads. Well, we're all getting along pretty well. We managed to get by one way and another. Things are looking a little different. I'm glad to have a chance to see it go in the right direction for a while, because it seemed like there's been so much work, and if I can get the dozer to do a lot of it for me and get some things done around here, maybe I can get the place looking better than I thought I would by this time. I want to build some fences quick as I can then, and plant some grass in there where on the hill where the trees and brush are now. Get me some animals in there I think they'll look better on the hill than a bunch of brush, and they'll do me some good too. And then I'd like to build me a little chicken house, small house for chickens, and get me some of them to maybe lay some eggs and produce some meat for me too, and that'll help. And then I think I might go up on the hill this spring and turn it all under and plant some corn in most of it, and then on one end of it I may add some sweet corn to my garden and plant some other things that wouldn't be as necessary to have so close to the house, or where they'd be handier, like tomatoes. I want them and some of the things that you pick every day or two closer to the house in my garden there. Of course, when I put my house in, my house is laid out where the garden was, and it's taking up about half of it. But I didn't have but about half of it planted last year anyway, after the squash and pumpkins didn't come. I had a lot of area that was in, but they never amounted to anything because the birds kind of came in and messed them up. Every time they'd peek through the ground, well, they'd come in and pick it all up, and so I never got anything from them hardly. A few pumpkins is all. It's kind of a squash pumpkin. But anyway, then one of my neighbors, the Whites, I don't know if I don't remember if you saw them, met them or not, but they have a barn down around on the other side of town, and I hauled about 3 loads, I think, of fertilizer up from their barn and put it on my garden spot with their manure spreader, and that should help the garden a lot this year. Besides, I'd like to get 2 or 3 more loads if I can before it's time, before I plow the land up. That should help to make that much better. I know my soil needs to be built up here because it's been let go so long, but I'll work on that as I can. Then it'll soon be planting time here. We'll be pushed for so many things at once. I don't know if I'll get it all done, but we'll strive to do it. And I'm planning to stay out of the tree work now for as much as I can anyway, for a good while till I get my house well underway and kind of get that done. We already got our windows for the new house and the front door. We haven't got the bill on it, but it should run somewhere between $1,200 and $1,400 for them. And they look real nice. They're a real nice window. Got insulated glass, the thermal panes, and they're a real nice window. They're an Anderson window, which is pretty well known across the nation, and a well-built window. I'm going to have one more, but I'm going to wait to see which size I really want, and then I'll be able to make the opening, and then I'll be able to get the window in plenty of time without any worry there. Then I have to get my block as soon as I get my footers poured. I'll be getting my block and hauling them myself because I can save 3 cents a block on that. And that'll save me a little. I'll have a little more work involved, but not enough to worry about it too much. I can put them more where I want them, and I can also haul them as I need them more and not have to worry about having them all in here and in the way, and then when so they'll be in the way when I need them, don't need them, and then be way too far away when I do need them. So anyway, so much for that. We'll try to finish up this tape as soon as we can and get it off to you. It seemed like it's hard to get started and don't usually have too much to talk about, and right now I'm pretty much run down, so I may shut her off for a while and see what we can come up with by tomorrow evening. I put the recorder by my bed so I can maybe record a little bit every day and keep you posted on what happened for the day. We got a letter from you today. We haven't seen Ruth since last Friday was over at their place. Well, for a little while. Saw her Sunday, but I mean, we haven't been over to their house since Friday. So we don't see her much on Sunday anyway. I usually see her just for a minute, and they all get out and gone, and I don't get to see her much. So anyway, they're busy and we're busy at things too, so we don't get much time together. Hope you're feeling good. We know that maybe we get a little bit blue at times, but I hope you can keep encouraged, and we realize there's a lot of things we can do even yet, that we don't have to sit down and waste our lives. We never know too much about what's going to happen anyway, so our life will last till it's done anyway, so it looks like to me we just have to make the best of it as we go along. Well, we'll shut her off for now, and maybe we'll get more to talk about sometime the next day or so. So we'll see you. This is Sunday, March 17. I'll be going to work after a bit, after 2:15, and this morning Nellie didn't go to church because the baby was sick in the night, vomited several times. There's several at church that several from church that weren't there today. Ruth had her two boys home, and they seemed to be having colds, but Ruth had a flu or something Friday and went home early from school. Then I've been working around the place. I had 2 days coming, one for my birthday and a personal holiday, so last Thursday I was off, and this coming Thursday I'll be off. Gives me 3 days at home each week to work on things. I may have mentioned this the other day when I was talking to you. But anyway, yesterday we dug the footers with the backhoe, and I'll have to get in and trim them up and do a little more shoveling with the hand shovel, but I had the backhoe up here, and it cost me $20. But now it's pretty well done, and I'm ready for the concrete for the footing, which I'll be ordering as soon as the weather's just right. The other man, Roy Kime, came up with and got on his dozer. It's been around here for about 2 weeks now on the place, but he got up there in the brush and pushed a lot of trees out by the roots, so there won't be any stumps left, and he's going to pile them up in a big pile so I can burn them. Made the place look quite a bit different from the road, and I'm going to plan to put grass in there. So it's changing everything quite a bit. Of course, I don't know how much it's going to cost me on the dozer work, but he keeps saying not to worry about it, so I guess I shouldn't worry about it. I was hoping that it wouldn't be too high, because I know I'm not going to have any extra money by the time I get through building. I may have to borrow some money to finish it up anyway, but it'll be worthwhile anyway at that. I've been feeling pretty well. Seems like the sore throat seems to hang in there quite a bit, and that seems to be what Nellie and the baby suffer from quite a bit too. This spring weather's been real nice for about a week, but it turned cold yesterday and started snowing late in the evening, and
I was staying on the old stove till I get stored back where I was stuff when it rained out. Well, it's small last evening, and the rain was a little bit left on.
well, sounds like this thing has the gurgles, but I was gonna say that there was a little snow left on the ground this morning, and it looks like it may warm up a little again. They talk like there'd be some more cold weather, but we hope that it won't be long. We'll be able to get into the house and working on it more. I'll be pouring my footers as soon as the weather's so I can. And then Jimmy's tearing down the old house in Beach City that we'd been working on, and he's going to take the motorcycle for pay for doing it. Then I'm tearing down this old building at the greenhouse, and that'll give me some material to use for bracing and forms and stuff like that around here on the new house. I won't be putting any of it in the house probably, unless I change my mind on some of it, but I'll probably use it in a shop building that I'll be building later on. Can always use it one place and another. For right now, that's about all I have. I'll be getting back with you after I know a little more, so maybe I can get some of the others around here to talk on it some too. I don't know. I'll check and see after a bit. So hope you're feeling good, and we'll see you after. We'll be talking to you. Finish this tape out as soon as we can, get it off to you. Now, Naomi wants to talk to you, so I'm going to turn this over to Naomi and let her talk a little bit and maybe sing a song or two. Tell her who you are and go ahead.
I'm Naomi. Hello, Grandma. I love you. Huh?
Tell her louder.
So she can hear you.
Hmm?
Talk to her so she can hear you on.
What?
Tell her that you love her and then sing it.
I love you. Cubby, Ivy, Ellie, is that a book for me? And then along and what I've gone to be Ivy, Ellie.
Sing hide it under a bushel, no.
Hide it under the bushel now. I'm glad that's on.
Hide it under a bushel, no.
Hide it under the bushel now. I'm glad that's on, let it shine, let it shine.
Let it shine. I'm not going to see it out. I'm not going to see it out.
I'm gonna not blow it out.
I'm gonna let it
Shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hide it under the bushel now. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine. And hide it under the bushel now. W-I-B Ellie, is that work for me? I had done the bushel, no.
No, I stand alone on the word of God.
I stand alone on the word of God. The B-I-B Ellie. I got that full but gold. I'm sick.
I heard to miss church today.
Huh?
Couldn't go to church today.
Can't go to church today. Cause I'm sick.
Is that all you want to say now?
Uh-huh.
Or are you going to tell her about that big machine that's working out there?
The machine was working out there.
What was it doing?
Or was it getting dirt out
Getting dirt out. For why?
for our house?
For our house.
Daddy plans to build it.
I see. We got the windows in our back of our trailer too, don't we?
Uh-huh.
We got them all back there.
Daddy, talk to her.
Bye, Grandma.
Bye, Grandma.
You gonna tell her you love her?
I love you.
Well, she says she's through talking, so if you understand it all, well, she's just a little girl. Now, does Mommy want to talk to her?
All right, now we'll wait.
A little later, Mommy's going to talk to her, and then maybe I can get the other two to talk some. Well, I just got back from work this evening,
I love you.
so I got to get in bed and get to sleep. It's 11:45 right now.
I love you, Dad.
Get up in the morning and start
I
digging
love you,
footers
Dad.
out.
I love you, Dad.
Okay, baby. Oh, I get a kiss even. Okay. So good night for tonight.
Which sets the captive free, the only name through which I find salvation. No name on earth has meant so much to me. I especially like this last verse. That name still lives, will live on forever, while kings and kingdoms will forgotten be. This dear lady here certainly expressed the sentiments of my heart. I've never been more convinced. It's more than a conviction for me, my dear friends. It's almost become a possession of me that Jesus must come soon. Every indication points to that fact. But that name still lives, and will live on forever. Amen. While kings and kingdoms will forgotten be. Thank the Lord, friends, if we're living for Him, we need not fear. There is no fear. The dread is gone, and we're serving the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Listen to the words. That name still lives and will live on forever. While kings and kingdoms will forgotten be, through mist or rain, 'twill be clouded never. That name shall shine and shine eternally. My heart tender hands he lifted me from shades of night to plains of light. Oh, praise his name. He lifted now on higher plane I dwell, and in my soul I meet his well. Yet how or why I cannot tell, he should have lifted me from sinking sand. He lifted
This is March the 20th. Looks like springtime's just about here. Hope the weather remains that way. Jim pretty well has the tape fixed up for you, but he wanted us to talk on it a little bit. He is going to be off of work the rest of the week now, so we hope the weather will be good enough that we can get some things done on the house project over here. Glenna's been having quite a bit of cough and bad cold and a little bit of fever. She started in last Saturday and has had it ever since. This is Wednesday. I didn't go to church with her Sunday, and we didn't go to church tonight. Jimmy seemed to develop it last night, and he had quite a cough and cold, and his head is all choked up today, so he stayed home from school. Looks like it's kind of going around a little bit. Both others acted like they felt a little better this evening, riding around and playing around a little, but Naomi sounded like she's beginning to choke up again. Just a little while ago I went into the bathroom and, well, Naomi was awfully quiet, so I went to check on her. And she had the bath water on, and she was stripping her clothes all off, getting ready to take a bath. That's the second time she's done that today. And she doesn't do it like that usually, but I guess it's just another little trait that's showing up. She does love to take baths, and she usually takes them with Glenna, but since she's had this bad cold, I haven't let her get in the tub because she gets her hair all wet. And I think that makes it worse, so she's getting anxious to get one. Ruth and her two children both missed church Sunday also, the rest of the family said, that went to church. But Glenna talked like that Ruth has been back in school this week, so I don't know whether it was Ruth or if it was the boys that was sick. Ruth left school early Friday because I believe it was Friday, last week anyway. She had kind of dizzy spell and wasn't feeling good. She thought that it was perhaps the flu. There's been a lot of it going around and a lot of people out of church with it also. You probably noticed a gap in the tape from where Jim finished talking the other night until now. It had Richard Beckham singing on it. That was when he held a revival in West Virginia for us just a while before we moved up here. In fact, I think it was the spring before we moved up here, and Jim had taped some of his special singing on it, and this happened to be what was on this tape. So we listened to it the other evening after he was recording to you, and Jim thought he'd just leave those songs on there that you might enjoy them. I just listened to what I had to say, and I've got to make a correction. When I first started talking, I said Glenna had been sick last Saturday, and I was wrong. I meant Naomi. I pull that every once in a while. I don't know why, but I call Naomi Glenna quite often, and so I was meaning Naomi. Naomi's the one that's been sick. I think Glenna's wanting to play a tune for you on the organ, so I'll take this in there where she can play for you.
I love you truly. Ta-ra-ra, boom-dee-ay.
The 8th graders are already getting ready in school for their orations. The 8th graders are just going to memorize poems and recite them, but the 12th graders are going to have orations. But there's only 3 of them, so graduating, so it won't take long. We'll probably have a pretty big piano and organ recital this year, too. All the pianists and organists is taking lessons there. They all play a song or two at one evening, and a bunch of people come. And this year, she comes Wednesday all day, and then she comes Thursday half a day. So, to teach lessons. So we'll probably have a pretty big one. There's a lot of people taking lessons. One girl's taking piano Wednesday, and Thursday she's taking organ lessons. Well, I think she's the only one that's doing that, though. I don't think there's any others. Guess it's about time for me to get to bed because it's after midnight, so it's not the 20th anymore. Goodbye, and we love you.
Well, I don't know much to say other than I'm tearing down a house in Beach City, the one that Dad was tearing down for a motorcycle, 300 Honda. And I guess I caught this cold from it, being out in the cold weather. I don't know very much to say, so this last report card I got 2 C's and a B and an A. I got a A in metal shop, and I got a B in, American history. No, that's wrong. And mechanical drawings, and a C in American history and a C in American literature. I'm only taking 4 subjects this year, and I'll have to take about 6 next year. I don't know much more to say, so I guess I'll let somebody else finish it up. Bye. One of the security guards at McLean's, where I work, pulled a few dirty tricks around there, and they caught him for it, so they hauled him off to jail, and they just had his hearing the other day, or trial or whatever it is, and they gave him 6 months in jail and $4,000 fine, $1,000 for each count. There's 4 things that he done. One was he firebombed a place, one of the trailers, and another one was that he put a bomb threat on one of the doors, signs saying this place is being bombed, and another one was harassing telephone calls to the management. But he was doing this to try to make a better name for himself and make it look like he was catching it, because he's the one that would always find these things and turn it in, but he was the one that was setting them up too. So he ended up losing his job and costing him 6 months and $4,000. So I think he done a pretty stupid thing myself, but he's the one that'll have to pay for it. He had a family too, a wife and some children, I think. So I don't know how it'll all come out. Well, this is about it for now. We'll try to get this right off to you and hope you get it in good shape, and that you'll forgive us for being so late. Bye. We love you. Take care of yourself, and
Let us hear from you. Bye.